The Blue Orion shuttle takeoff stunt, whatever you want to call it, is really comical right now because so many things are starting to backfire on them. All right, guys, so I'm only talking about this because I find it funny. In fact, this is so fake. Even my son, he's like, look at this fake shit. He's showing me all, like, not all, but the couple of Blue Orion things that they're starting to see and starting to notice. And I spoke about it on the Angry Truth channel live stream. I think Monday night I spoke about it a little bit. And there's more information coming out about it, so I'm probably going to speak more on it Friday night. But I find it interesting, guys, that I thought from the beginning there was something that was just off about the whole thing. I happened to watch the takeoff after it happened. I watched the takeoff, then coming back down. There were too many cuts, and I'm like, abrupt cuts. I'm like, they're doing some shit. They're working their magic. And I think they're using a technology that we haven't seen yet. And we're probably going to see within a year or two, live AI editing or special effects where you can do it live. So as you look at this nonsense, this circus, a lot of things start coming to mind. All right, so you got these 4 women, right? Is it 4 or 5 women going into space with no training. So right there in itself, they're making a mockery of astronauts who worked their entire life to go to space. They join the Air Force, the military, they become officers, they get other certifications that they need. Some of them are scientists, botanists, you name it. Whatever it's needed to become an astronaut, they do it. They learn how to fly, they learn how to skydive, they learn how to become mechanics, the whole 9 yards. They're like top of the echelon nerds. And you got the hordes of space flying into space, making a mockery of space. That was my first issue. But then you're like, all right, maybe they didn't go to space because, again, these knuckleheads, not trained women, just bitches that fucking, all of them, every last one of them, that were on their knees at some point in their career to get to where they are. Fine. And that's fine if you want to do that, but to sit there and say you went to space, and they didn't really go to space, they went to a level in the sky that is internationally recognized as space, but it wasn't space. All right. So, and they kept saying that to make sure that people didn't say they were in space, but they were technically in space. It's weird word salading bullshit to tell us that they went to space. Whatever. But then the technical shit starts to kick in. They asked NASA for spacesuits, and NASA goes, oh, we don't have any jumpsuits or whatever it is for women. They have women astronauts. So who made up that lie about NASA not having the spacesuits? They have women in the space program. Again, unless NASA never went to space and every mission they did was a ruse, which I doubt. The mission to the moon, that's an argument I do not want to fucking have, but I don't think we ever went to the moon, but I want to get into it. This nonsense, you got a bunch of women who have no fucking experience going into space, making a mockery of space, designing a suit with biometrics in it to test, to record their levels of, anxiety, heart rate, breathing, the whole 9 yards, right? CO2 levels, you name it. That's supposedly what the suits were supposed to have in it. So then they develop these suits. And then they go into the rocket ship. Then they strap in. And I don't know if they strapped themselves in, which if they did initially going up, that's bullshit number 1. Bullshit number 2 is they didn't have any helmets on. They didn't have any kind of suit just in case the shuttle failed or something failed inside the shuttle. So if the O2 went or the line was clogged or the Apollo 13 incident happened again where the tank blows and now they're running out of air, there is no life support system in there for them to turn to in case that happens. So that was bullshit number 3. And the no helmets. And then you watch this thing come back down out of the sky. And it hits the ground at not a gingerly speed. It hits the ground pretty hard when you watch that dust kick up. And so when I saw the dust kick up, I initially thought it was AI. I still do think because of the way it hit. But now again, they came out of the sky, chutes opened up, they hit the ground, no helmets on. Their seats didn't have a lot of padding to begin with. So somebody got their shit rocked in there. But again, they all came out like they were okay. So there's just too many questions about this, and now things are starting to backfire on them because we all saw the video where Jeff Bezos walks, just before Jeff Bezos gets there, they open the door and someone says, no, 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 no. And then they close it. Then Jeff Bezos comes with this bullshit key lock thing to let them out, and then the door just swings open. Now, when you're turning that lever is a hard twist. It's not it's not meant to be easy the way he was spinning it. You watch the video again, you see how easy he was spinning that thing. That thing is fucking hard. You got to put your fucking back into it to get it open. So now, all of that, guys, space regulations and no emergency suit, no emergency life support should anything fail in there. They had no helmets on. They came down pretty hard. No one was rocked when they came downstairs. The smoke looks suspicious. The dust, when they hit the ground, and they hit it pretty hard, that dust looked fake. You got Gail King, right? This idiot, walking around like it's nothing to her. Now, some people will say she looked nervous. She didn't look nervous. She looked like she was like, all right, let's go with this bullshit. You know, and it was just sauntering. Everybody had a pep in their step, and this bitch is like you're getting on a rocket ship, you're about to get launched into space. You should either be overly excited, which some of them were, or super nervous and but she wasn't. She was just walking like she's done this shit before. Her body language was weird, and I didn't like it, and that was the first red flag to all of it, was her body language. And then when she came out, she didn't look super convincing. She was like, yeah, and everybody else was like, overacting and shit, and this bitch was like, and then walked off. I was like, that was weird. Her body language didn't fit somebody who just came back down from space. So, if they were using live AI, which I'm starting to think they did, they can absolutely show something coming out of space, hitting the ground, and then cutting to an area where these chicks get in it or are already in it, and then they come out, on cue. That is just my opinion. But with AI and the way and where it's going now and the leaps and bounds it's making, I will not be surprised if they have a live AI editing program or just editing special effects, AI special effects for live streaming. I could almost guarantee that that's out there and that's what they were using, because a lot of people, liberals, conservatives, everybody is not buying this bullshit. And even if it was real, they still made a mockery of space, and they made a mockery of every astronaut that went up before them. Other than that, guys, this is The Angry Prepper. Thank you for watching the Angry Truth channel.